It was only a matter of time before these two titans of terror faced off against one another. In the green corner, we have the hovering homicide hateful helo, the AH-64 Echo Apache. And in the red corner, we have the maniacal murderous Marine Corps menace, the AH-1 Zulu Viper. Fight!
This video was requested, well, basically demanded after the Apache video dropped. Speaking of the Apache video, I know you all want a dedicated AH-1 Zulu video. It's coming, but damn. I thought the Apache had a lot of data to sort through. With a lineage that goes as far back as Vietnam, the AH-1 video is gonna be a minute, so just give me a minute to make that one. But putting aside my sad reasoning for using my busy life as an excuse not to feed your insatiable appetite for tactically acquired videos, we've got a lot to cover today with 12 categories on deck for these birds to duke it out. But before we get into all that, and I promise we're getting there, first a couple of ground rules. And don't worry, there are only 3, so even my fellow grunts can keep track. Rule number 1, each category is worth 1 point only. This is a straight up head-to-head death match, a 1v1 as it were, to keep things simple. No participation trophies allowed here. Rule number 2, let's keep it civil in the comment section, although who am I kidding with that one? I built an entire channel to attract type A personalities and disgruntled veterans, so it is what it is, I guess, have at it. Anyway, with all that out of the way.
Hey, what's rule 3?
What's that? Kid, give me a break now.
So you don't know rule 3?
Yeah, you want a match? My face and your ass. How about that, friend? Huh? I mean, your ass and my face. What's up?
But on the real, you guys, there's no need to take this so serious. It's a YouTube video, not a dick. Don't take it so hard. Alright, that's enough preamble and pre-fight posturing. Let's plunge into this powerhouse pairing. First up, we have the AH-64 Echo Apache Guardian. The Apache was first introduced in 1986 and is the direct result of Air Force Karens getting their panties in the wad because the Army wanted to take over their close air support mission. Over the years, this iconic bird has seen many iterations culminating in the latest and greatest Echo Guardian variant, which first took to the skies in 2011. The Apache is best known for its lethal precision, unmatched durability, and overall battlefield dominance. With over 2,400 units currently in service worldwide, it's racked up more than 500 confirmed kills during Operation Desert Storm alone, and it's operated by 18 different nations across the globe. Its primary mission is to hunt and destroy enemy armor, provide close air support, and to control the battlefield. Now that's a ton of high praise, and it's well deserved, with the reputation as one of the most feared weapon systems fielded by the US Army. If the Apache is the equivalent of a battle-hardened tank in the sky, well, I guess that would make the Viper its sleeker, more venomous counterpart. In the red corner, representing the loudest ones in any room they happen to be occupying, the pride and joy of the USMC, we have the AH-1 Zulu Viper. This hovering freedom enforcer was first introduced in 2000 and is the latest evolution of the iconic Cobra series of helicopters. This is a design that perfectly reflects the Marine Corps' philosophy, which is, why change what already works? The AH-1 Zulu Viper has racked up an impressive resume with over 200 units currently in service and a growing reputation as a precision strike platform. This twin-engine terror is equipped with advanced avionics, multi-role capabilities, and a knack for close air support. Operated by the Marine Corps, the Viper thrives both on land and in naval environments, making it an indispensable asset for amphibious operations. Its primary mission is to deliver swift and surgical strikes in order to keep the Marines on the ground alive and winning. Like the Cobra before it, the Viper's reputation precedes it as a reliable, deadly, and flexible weapon of war. But this bird has a very special trick up its sleeve, a secret tied to its shared DNA with another legendary Marine platform, giving it unmatched versatility and making it a breeze to maintain. Now that we've set the conditions, both fighters may enter their respective corners and the battle can commence. When it comes to outright speed, the AH-1 Zulu Viper doesn't just cruise, it soars. With a top speed of 255 miles per hour and a cruising speed of 184 miles per hour, it handily outpaces the Apache, which tops out at 227 miles per hour and cruises at a steady 165 miles per hour. Now when it comes to vertical power, the Viper's climb rate of 2,790 feet per minute leaves the Apache's 2,500 feet per minute looking a bit sluggish by comparison. Whether it's in a chase or a rapid ascent, the Viper takes the crown with ease in this category. Shots fired and the Viper draws first blood. While the Viper boasts an impressive ferry range of 370 nautical miles, its combat range drops to 125 when carrying a 2,500-pound payload. On the other hand, the Apache doesn't just aim to travel, it's here to go the distance, delivering express unaliving technology. With a combat range of 260 nautical miles, more than double that of the Viper, the Apache proves that it's built different. Add in the Apache's ferry range of over 1,000 nautical miles, and it's clear the Apache is ready for the long haul when needed. Point Apache. Make no mistake, you guys, both these helicopters and their pilots know what they're all about, sending rounds downrange. But how they go about it is what we're about to get into next. Both the Apache and Viper pack a devastating arsenal for ground attacks, but it's their approaches that differ slightly. The Apache's weaponry is headlined by its legendary 30mm M230 chain gun mounted under the forward fuselage. This single-barrel electrically driven autocannon delivers raw firepower on targets with finesse. With a rate of fire of 650 rounds per minute and an effective range of 1,500 meters, the M230 specializes in obliterating both armored vehicles and personnel. Its M789 high-explosive dual-purpose rounds can pierce up to 1 inch of armor at 500 meters, while fragmenting to neutralize soft targets within a 5-foot radius. In other words, on the off chance you miss, it's still possible to score a hit. Now for added firepower, the Apache can carry a couple of Hydra 70 rocket pods. These 2 3/4 inch rockets can deploy in unguided forms for area suppression, or they can be upgraded to the advanced precision kill weapon system rockets for more surgical strikes. With a range of up to 3 miles, the Hydra rockets provide versatile medium-range options against all kinds of enemy positions. And of course, we have the crown jewel, the main entree, the final boss of the Apache, if you will, the AGM-114 Hellfire missile. This bird is capable of carrying up to 16 of these missiles at a time, which is plenty enough to ensure that the Apache doesn't run across a target that's too tough for it to tear into. With a range of up to 5 miles and guidance options including laser and radar, the Hellfire excels at annihilating armored vehicles, fortified positions, and even urban structures with thermobaric warheads. Originally developed and first fielded alongside the Apache, the Hellfire is as iconic as the helicopter itself. Now the Viper counters with its nose-mounted 20mm M197 rotary cannon, which trades raw firepower for rapid suppressive firepower. Additionally, it too can carry up to 16 AGM-114 Hellfire missiles, which is the exact same as the Apache. The Viper also features the advanced AGM-179 missiles, enhancing its precision strike capabilities. Now all that said, sure, the 20mm doesn't quite pack the same wallop as the Apache's 30mm chain gun, but as any Marine will tell you, it's not the size that matters, it's how you use it. Except when it absolutely is about size, and the Apache's is bigger and wins that debate. Despite the Viper's versatility, the Apache's heavier firepower and advanced radar-guided systems give it the edge in delivering sustained destruction. Point Apache. Now while air-to-air combat isn't the primary role for either of these helicopters, they both bring distinct capabilities to the table. The Zulu Viper completely dominates this category with its AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles. These wingtip mounted missiles are designed specifically to counter fast-moving aerial threats, and their heat-seeking capability make it a favorite across multiple platforms for engaging aircraft at close to medium ranges. This capability allows the Viper to tango with both helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft, which is a massive advantage in versatility. The Apache counters with AIM-92 Stinger missiles, which provide short-range air-to-air capabilities. Now while the Apache has in the past experimented with AIM-9 Sidewinders and AGM-122 sidearm missiles in evaluated configurations, these options remain non-standard. Ultimately, the Viper's proven ability to leverage the Sidewinder for dominance in aerial engagements gives it a clear edge in this category. Winner, Viper. So at present, the scores show we're locked in at 2-2 each. The Viper's got speed and air-to-air bragging rights, while the Apache flexes its range and ground-pounding firepower. This fight is far from over, so let's see if one can pull out ahead. Let's pause for a reality check before diving into this section, because this is where things might get controversial, if not a bit spicy. Now on paper, these birds are both engineered to survive just about anything, to include ballistic hits, crashes, and hell, even Murphy's Law itself. The Apache with its 23mm resistant armor and redundant systems, and the Viper with its lightweight ballistic protection and advanced avionics, both seem like the ultimate indestructible survivors. But here's the kicker, the cold hard truth, if you will. Reality doesn't always play nice. Accidents, unexpected circumstances, and just plain bad luck have proven time and time again that even the best designs have their limits. Today we're not diving into the crash reports and incidents because, let's face it, sometimes things just go sideways. Instead, we're sticking to what these helicopters were designed to do. So just take a deep breath, keep your pitchforks holstered, and let's look at the facts. The Apache is built to take a beating with a crew compartment and rotor blades designed to withstand hits from 23mm rounds. It boasts 2,500 pounds of protective armor, a self-sealing fuel system, and a transparent blast shield between the pilot and gunner to ensure survivability in the case of a direct hit. Its dual General Electric T700 turboshaft engines and tandem cockpit setup allow for reliable performance and independent operation by either crew member. Add in crash-worthy fuel systems, landing gear, and structural reinforcements, and you've got a true sky tank. Now the Viper, while lighter, doesn't skimp on ballistic protection for critical components and also features self-sealing fuel tanks to minimize vulnerability. It's further equipped with dual mission computers and integrated avionics to maintain functionality during system failures. Its low airspeed air data subsystem ensures weapons delivery even in degraded conditions, proving its resilience in even the toughest environments. All in all, this is impressive, but the Apache's gonna take the win here. Our current score shows the Apache pulling ahead with a slight edge of 3 points to the Viper's 2. To all my devil dogs out there, please, resist the urge to break out your crayon to write me a strongly worded, if not occasionally misspelled, letter about how I'm the biggest idiot you've ever seen on YouTube. Hold the line because this isn't over yet and the Viper still has some tricks up its sleeve. They say bullets wins battles, but logistics wins wars. And nowhere is that more true than with helicopters. For every flight hour these birds clock, countless hours of maintenance are required to keep them mission ready. Whether it's through design innovation or logistical compatibility, the ability to spend less time on the ground and more time in the air can tilt the balance in favor of one of these machines. This is where the Viper truly starts to shine. The Zulu Viper excels with a bearingless and hingeless rotor system that reduces maintenance complexity by eliminating 75% of traditional rotor parts. Plus, its shared parts with the UH-1 Yankee Venom significantly lighten the Marine Corps' logistical burden during deployments. The Apache, on the other hand, focuses on modular components for easier replacements and incorporates onboard diagnostics for real-time system monitoring. Now, while durable, its composite rotor blades and overall design demand more frequent maintenance tasks compared to the Viper's more simplified approach. Point Viper. I'm not even going to try to act like the Viper does anything other than dominate in this category. Thanks to its shared platform with the UH-1 Yankee Venom, these two aircraft share 85% of their components. 85%! This includes parts like the engines, avionics, drivetrains, rotors, and many more, I'm sure. All of these are shared between these two aircraft. Whether or not you believe this was done out of necessity, which I'm sure it was, I just can't get over how smart of a design decision this is. As someone who comes from the armor world and has personally felt the pain of not having parts on hand to get my tracks up and running, I can truly appreciate this approach. This parts compatibility allows the Viper to significantly reduce the logistical burden both stateside and during deployments. This compatibility stems from a design philosophy that traces its lineage all the way back to the original Huey. By maintaining this legacy of shared parts and modularity, the Viper ensures streamlined supply chains and simplified maintenance training for Marine Corps personnel. If I haven't made it clear by now with me man-crushing over this design philosophy, this isn't just cost-effective, it's strategically brilliant. Now onto the Apache. While equipped with modular components and supported by Boeing's advanced logistical network, it does face challenges in large-scale deployments due to its standalone design. Unlike the Viper, the Apache doesn't share components with other aircraft, making its supply chain more complex and less adaptable in austere environments. Clearly, the Viper takes a point here too. Interesting. Well, with all that said, the Viper not only narrows the gap, but actually officially takes the lead, bringing the score to 3-4 in the Viper's favor. Well, what do you expect? With this logistical brilliance and streamlined maintenance, the Viper is bound to put a lot of pressure back on the Apache. Let's see how they fare in the next round. If you watched any number of my videos, you probably noticed that one of my favorite movie characters of all time are the Predators. To be clear, I'm not talking about the humans in the movies, screw them. I'm talking about the Predators. These ruthless killers used advanced tech and weapons to track, hunt, and kill their prey, and they're so damn good at what they do that they literally only do it for sport. So far as we know, the Predators are just made up creatures, so the closest we're ever gonna get in real life are aircraft like these two. Let's break down the tech that allows these real-life predators to back their prey into a corner. Starting with the Apache, it doesn't just rely on a single sensor suite, it's stacked with gear to locate, track, and neutralize targets in any light or weather condition. Its Target Acquisition and Designation System, or TADS, and the Pilot Night Vision System, PNVS, provide high-resolution targeting imagery and navigation in low-light conditions. The modernized, or MTADS PNVS, cranks it up even further, boosting resolution, range, and field of view so Apache crews can pick out threats with surgical precision. And because the Apache wants to flex even harder, its longbow radar system can track up to 128 targets simultaneously within a 50-kilometer range. This allows it to rapidly detect and prioritize targets with devastating efficiency. Meanwhile, the Viper brings the Lockheed Martin Target Sight System to the fight, which is the third-generation FLIR setup for passive day-night targeting that stays off the enemy's radar. Toss in compatibility with the AIM-9 Sidewinders for air-to-air hilarity and the AGM-179 missiles for precision ground strikes, and you've got a helo ready to dish out punishment in any domain. And let's not forget the countermeasures. The Viper sensor suite integrates with systems like the Hover Infrared Suppression System, reducing its IR signature and making it harder for heat-seeking missiles to lock on. Still, the Apache's multi-pronged sensor suite and monstrous longbow radar give it a slight edge in raw detection and targeting dominance. Point Apache. When you're spending hours in a cockpit, comfort and ease of use aren't just luxuries, they're force multipliers. A pilot who's at ease in their aircraft is a more efficient hunter, able to focus on the mission instead of fighting the machine. The Apache takes pilot integration to the next level with its integrated helmet and display sighting system. This advanced system allows pilots to control weapons like the 30mm chain gun simply by looking at the target, while simultaneously displaying critical flight and targeting data right into the helmet. Oh, and did I mention that the Apache pilot can control UAVs directly from the cockpit? That is next level situational awareness and battlefield control. The Viper counters with the Tails Top Owl helmet mounted sight and display system, providing pilots with a 40-degree field of view augmented by FLIR and video imagery for true 24-hour operations. Its lightweight design reduces pilot fatigue during extended missions, and the hands-on collective and stick architecture ensures pilots can manage flight and combat functions seamlessly without ever taking their hands off the controls. But that's not all. The Viper's helmet display and tracking system allows pilots to aim guns and missiles just by looking at the target, much like the Apache's iHads but with a Marine Corps twist. This is complemented by the Viper's ability to fuse data from multiple sensors and avionics, providing a comprehensive and cohesive battlefield picture. While the Viper systems are cutting edge and highly effective, the Apache's iHads and seamless UAV integration push it just ahead in terms of situational awareness and advanced functionality. Point Apache. The Viper benefits from its shared components and systems with the UH-1 Yankee Venom, streamlining training for crew members. This commonality simplifies the learning curve, allowing pilots to transition between platforms with ease. The Apache, on the other hand, requires more specialized training due to its complex systems and independent crew operations. While the Apache's training is more in-depth, the Viper's streamlined approach allows for quicker and more cost-effective pilot readiness. Point Viper. So we're currently at a tie with the score of 5-5. I swear I didn't plan it like this because I don't think I'm up for the fury to come in the comment section. Comment down below who you think the winner is gonna be. Well, let's dive into the next section and see how these two helicopters fare when the stakes are real and the mission is life or death. The Apache has a storied combat history that begins in 1989 during Operation Just Cause. Here it logged over 240 combat hours attacking targets, mostly under the cover of darkness. Additionally, the Apache truly shined during the Gulf War, delivering Hellfire missiles with pinpoint accuracy, even striking targets through windows from over 4 miles away. Throughout its service in Iraq and Afghanistan, the Apache has been a mainstay for close air support, high-value target strikes, and anti-armor operations. The AH-64 Echo variant further elevates its performance, showing exceptional capabilities in counterinsurgency operations, including missions against the Islamic State. The Viper, while newer to the fight, has built an impressive combat record since being declared operational in 2010. Supporting Marine Corps ground operations in Afghanistan, the Viper excelled in close air support, reconnaissance, and anti-armor missions. Its agility, speed, and precision weaponry made it a favorite for dynamic combat scenarios. Everything from ship hunting to advanced missile engagements, the Viper has demonstrated its ability to adapt and thrive in modern combat. Now this is a tough one to determine a winner on because both platforms have decades of proven performance across multiple theaters and across multiple older variations. But the Apache's extensive combat resume gives it an edge, so point Apache. Now if you were pissed that I gave the combat record point to the Apache, then don't get your panties in a wad because this is where the Viper easily takes the win over the Apache. The Apache was designed from the ground up to dominate the battlefield, introduced revolutionary concepts like advanced targeting systems, and introduced unparalleled survivability for attack helicopters. Now since its debut in the 1980s, it set the gold standard for attack helicopters worldwide, influencing both doctrine and technology across multiple nations. But there's no way in hell we're going to ignore the fact that the AH-1 Zulu Viper builds upon a lineage that dates back to the Vietnam War with the OG AH-1 Cobra, the world's first dedicated attack helicopter. The Cobra changed the way air power was integrated into ground operations, and its descendants, including the Viper, have carried that legacy forward. The Viper retains the Marine Corps' tradition of reliable, deadly, and adaptable air support, making it a cornerstone of close air support warfare. And because of the Cobra's foundational role in attack helicopter doctrine, we've got to give the win and the point to the Viper. Damn. We are all tied up at 6-6. I can see all the disgruntled veterans taking to the comment section right now to make their voices heard. I guess it's time to go into the
final round. Fight!
Alright, time for the tiebreaker, and this is going to be the real metric that everyone actually cares about but no one wants to admit. Cool factor. Because let's be honest, if you're going to spend your career flying a giant metal murder machine, it better make you look badass while doing it. The Apache is the helicopter equivalent of a tank that said, nah, I'm gonna go fly now. Its brutal silhouette, heavy armor, and iconic chin-mounted 30mm chain gun scream, I'm here to ruin your whole day. But then there's the Viper, a flying embodiment to the Marines' get-some attitude. Its close air support obsessive mindset makes it an entirely different kind of beast. Viper pilots don't just waltz into danger, they dive in head first. Much like their Warthog cousins in the Air Force, they dive straight into the thick of it to keep boots on ground alive. That's not just cool, that's downright badass. The Viper's sleek profile, shark-like nose, and rapid agility make it look like a deadly predator even when parked. And then there's the main reason that this bird, to me, takes the win in cool factor. It's the all-consuming question that I think about anytime someone raises their right hand and takes the oath of enlistment. Why would anyone in their right mind choose to join the Marine Corps? Because let's be real, if you have the goal of becoming a civilian pilot when you get out, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army are the obvious choices. The Air Force for its cushy lifestyle and commercial airliner pipeline, the Navy for those who want to fly an Airbus like they stole it, and the Army for those who want to fly helicopters. But the Marines, that's a harder path. You're deliberately choosing the more difficult route, and it's a choice made by those who aren't looking for the easy road. Marine Corps pilots are built different. They have a burning desire to dive headfirst into the fight and to protect their brothers and sisters on the ground. Close air support is their mission first, and the AH-1 Zulu Viper, and the entire AH-1 lineage for that matter, was built for that exact purpose. It's a machine designed to fly straight into hell to ensure the grunts get home, and the pilots, they are just as crazy as their birds, if not more. That ethos of choosing the harder path, embracing the suck, basking in the chaos, and putting it all on the line for the home team, that's what makes the Viper cool. If that's not badass, I don't know what is. Winner, Viper, easily. Because cool isn't just about looks, it's about attitude. And willingly diving headfirst into danger, that's about as cool as it gets. So after all the cage match carnage, we've got our final verdict. Now let's face it, feelings will be hurt. Crayons will be thrown, and someone somewhere didn't watch the whole video and already hit me with a thumbs down 2 minutes in and left a mean comment about how I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. But hey, instead of getting mad, how about you
catch me outside? How about that?
What does that mean?
What I just said.
The AH-1 Zulu Viper claims the crown in this matchup, and here's why. It's not just about how hard you can hit, it's about how often you can show up to the fight. The Apache, while unmatched in raw firepower, superior sensors, and sheer survivability, pays a hefty price in maintenance hours, logistical challenges, and the extensive training requirements. Sure, the Apache is the ultimate flying tank and possibly one of the deadliest machines on the modern battlefield, but it demands more time, effort, and resources to keep it combat ready. The Viper, on the other hand, wins by being the everyman's helo. With a simplified, streamlined design, shared parts with the UH-1 Yankee Venom, and lower maintenance and training costs, it delivers everything the Marines need without overburdening their supply chain. It's fast, agile, and reliable, all qualities that make it a weapon of war tailor-made for the kinds of forces that need to rapidly deploy anywhere at any time. That said, let's not kid ourselves. The Apache is still a total badass and absolutely dominates when it's in the fight. And if we're being even more honest, if the Marine Corps had its way, they'd probably switch to the Apache if funding allowed. Hell, they'd probably field the A-29 Super Tucano if Congress would approve it, but that's a topic for another video. Comment down below if you aggressively demand I make a video about a drug runner's worst nightmare, that is, the A-29 Super Tucano. Anyway, we were talking about the Apache. Its firepower, advanced systems, and combat record make it the king of fire and fury, just at a much higher cost in order to keep it ruling the skies. So there you have it, two titans of terror, and the Viper walks away with the belt. Let the debates rage on in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, or don't. You know, last I checked, still a free country. CT6 out.